On this episode of Gold Rush, Deuce finds out how hard it is to use miner's moss, pans big gold, buys new equipment. Also, we talk about Season 8, Episode 3 of Gold Rush, the TV show, and find out just how bad Todd Hoffman can be at his job. Hey guys, before this video gets started, I'd like to point out that in my description below you will find my Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media whatnots. Discord is open to the public. Go check it out. Thanks, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gold Rush number 2. This is going to be covering episode 3 of Gold Rush the TV show. This is Gold Rush the game. So, in today's episode, we are going to get our mats cleaned out. As you can see, I've done a lot of work. I added the extender, the sluice extension, whatever, and 2 more mats. I've got them all the way to 100%, and this took hours, fellas and ladies. This took hours. I mean, at least an hour and a half to get all this filled up. As you can see how much I've dug out over here. I have dug a lot out, and that's just using this thing. Just using this, right? Lots of digging done. Lots of hard work put in. We should be able to, well, if I can get that in there, rinse these mats. And as we're rinsing these mats, we're going to talk about Gold Rush, the TV show, as this game pertains to and is based off of the characters in the TV show. So we're going to be covering this week, Episode 3. This is Season 8 of Gold Rush, the TV show, Episode 3, The Viking versus the Mechanic. Let's make sure we can't... Okay, pick that up. No. There we go. A little tricky getting those to hit the right place, but... this is going to be covering the Viking versus the Mechanic. So, we start off with Parker putting his very expensive custom conveyor that was built out of a, what's that thing called? An excavator. Yeah, an excavator. So we start off there, and he's having trouble getting into position. It takes a little while, but they finally get it set up, and they get running. And they find out that it's not as simple as it should be. It kind of breaks there for a minute and goes over to Todd Hoffman on the Hoffman claim. His son Hunter is now running a big wash plant for him. So he is having trouble letting go of power, I do believe, because he's just giving Hunter all kinds of crap about everything that he's doing. So he tells Hunter that he's got to bump up the amount of yardage that he's running. So he's got to turn the plant up and run faster. He's got to run. Whoa, look at all that gold, man. All right, let's pick some of this up here. So having 4 mats and running them to 100% is definitely better than doing 2 mats at 25% for sure. Of course, you know, volume. The more you run, the better off it is. But Todd tells Hunter that he needs to bump up the amount of dirt that he's running. And Hunter tries to tell Todd that the plant just won't keep up with it. And, you know, guess who was right? Hunter was right. They find that out pretty quick. He has 2 different breakdowns, and Todd finally concedes that he can turn it back down because it won't handle the amount of dirt they're putting through it. Over to Tony Beats. Tony is desperate for getting some gold, so he tells Kevin that he's gonna have to start up the dredge number 1 because they're gonna have to start making gold at some point, or they're not gonna do good this season because he's got to have gold to get the other dredge moved and all that kind of stuff. So Kevin goes and tries to fire up the dredge. First thing he notices is that one of the pontoons never got fixed, so it's still filled with ice. And he brings a specialist in to get the ice out. And, you know, you think of ice, it's not like ice in your fridge. This is, you know, negative 50s ice. This is cold, you know. So they bring a guy in that can use a special torch to push down into the pontoon to get the ice out of it. Tony catches it, which is really funny. It's a really funny part in the episode. Tony really pisses the guy off. He sees him sitting down with a cup of coffee in his hand. The guy's just, you know, trying to get a drink of coffee. That's all he's doing. And Tony comes up, starts yelling at him, "We don't drink coffee, blah, blah, blah. You need to get to work." So Tony really upsets the guy, and luckily the guy was already finished. But the guy left. You know, luckily he was already done with his job, or mostly done anyway. So Kevin is really surprised when, you know, Tony gets all bent out of shape over the guy having a cup of coffee in his hand, which is pretty ridiculous, honestly. Let's head back over to the Hoffman claim, where a worker apparently had bumped into the feeder while he was loading dirt into the plant. So Todd comes over and he gets all, bent out of shape because Hunter's not handling it the way that Todd thinks he should. So Todd wants him to go over and yell at the guy and all this kind of stuff, and Hunter just wants to let the guy know, hey, you did this, we're going to bring somebody else in, and try to be nice about it. Hunter throws a hissy fit and gets all bent out of shape. He's a kid. He's got a long way to go when it comes to learning how to handle. Whoa, what is this? Hold the phone. I've never seen anything like it. It's the biggest nugget I've found in 40 years of my experience as a miner. I hope it's not just beginner's luck, and you'll use it wisely. Stop shoveling and start using proper machines. Check what you need to run the mobile wash plant, and don't forget about an excavator. Even the smaller ones should be good enough for you. Sweet. What did we get? 39 ounces. Holy crap, guys. We found a massive nugget, apparently. Good Lord. All right, we're going to buy some good stuff after this is all said and done. My God. 39 ounces. That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Man, I can't wait to go cash that in. Wonder how much more we can get out of this, though. Can we get more? Not out of that one. All right. Dump all this. Okay, so where are we at? Talking about Hunter. Throwing his tantrum and all that kind of stuff. He's still a young guy. He's got a long way to go learning how to deal with people. But I think most of it is probably Todd getting in his way, because Hunter wanted to handle it, in a very mature way and just let the guy know, hey, you kind of did this. We need to get somebody that's going to pay more attention, whatever. He was trying to handle it in a very mature way, and Todd just wanted him to go yell and scream at the guy. So Hunter was trying to handle it right. He goes and throws his tantrum, and he comes back after he calms down and handles the situation very, very well, honestly. I have several people work under me from time to time at my job, and I'll tell you, it's not easy when people screw up when they, are qualified for the job and clearly know what they're doing, but they're morons sometimes. It just slips. They get that kind of brain fart thing going on, and they just do dumb things. I mean, people make mistakes. It happens, but not paying attention is something that I just cannot handle. It bothers me more than anything in the world. Not paying attention and making mistakes, how people get hurt. So for me, if you don't pay attention, it's kind of a big deal, Not a fireable offense, I don't think, on the first time, but you should still pay attention. If you're going to do a job, you're going to be working on heavy equipment, you need to be paying attention. Because if he'd have knocked that thing completely over or broke something on somebody, that's a whole different deal. Then now you're talking about negligence, which is a really bad thing. Nobody wants that on their record. So, all right, let's dump the rest of that. But I think Hunter handled it very well. I think to be the new boss at the mine and all that kind of stuff. I think he handled it well. On to Parker's custom conveyor. As we said at the beginning, he had a little trouble getting it set up, but once he got it going, he was doing fine. And getting it set up took him a little while, but he did. And then figured out that it was going to run very, very slowly. So they started putting dirt in it, but it started clogging up the pre-wash, right? Because it was running too much dirt. So they had to turn down the conveyor, and Parker literally got bored sitting there, so he assigned somebody else to do it. And then they all figured out that running that thing was going to be boring, and you were going to run like 2 scoops an hour. You're just going to sit there and wait more than not, trying to get it to feed properly. But either way, they got that figured out, and they got some dirt through the plant, and it turned out to be a good day. Tony grabs. Tony and Kevin are back over on Dredge 1 trying to get it to start. And of course, it's cold, hadn't run in a whole season, so they have to pull out some of the old tricks. Tony goes and grabs some ether, fires it down the air, the breather, the air filter, whatever it is, to get it going. And dredge 1 starts running. But as Kevin goes to pull some of the, I don't really know the science behind it. I know these are air-driven levers. So when you move one, something gives and moves something else, like the bucket line and all that kind of stuff to drop it and turn it. All this is air-driven. I don't really know what that means. I know what hydraulics do. I'm not real sure with the air-driven part though. So either way, Kevin figures out that the buckets aren't moving properly and some of the pumps aren't turning on because of this old air-driven system, and he tells Tony they just need to go ahead and upgrade and get it out of the way. And Tony was like, well, how much is an upgrade going to cost? And Kevin gives him a number. Tony was pretty shocked because they haven't even made any gold this year yet, so they have to start from scratch, and they have to fork out all this money right off the beginning. So that's going to hurt the pocketbook, I do believe. All right, let's pause for a second, and let's see how much this is going to garner for us here. All right, sell ore. We can sell all the ore for $39,058. It's $12.08 per ounce. We can craft. We're going to lose 3.64 ounces. It's going to cost us $400. Let's try this first. Let's just drop that guy in the back of the truck because it doesn't matter where you put them. Oh man, we are $300 in the hole. How did that happen? Oh, our rent. That's right. Our rent. Let's run down here to the bank. And while we're doing all this, well, let's wait and see how much we get for the 40 ounces here. It should be, I mean, I'm guessing, you know, since it's roughly $1,000 an ounce, we should get around $40,000. So, sell good. We don't have a loan out, right? No, we don't. Okay, we're going to try to do this without taking out a loan. It may be long and boring, but, you know, at least we have the TV show to keep us entertained. All right, so we're going to click on that. We're going to hit sell, and it doesn't update, so you have to hit cancel and back out. 48,500. Freaking sweet. All right. Let's blow through some of this real quick. We're almost done with the TV show part of it, and then we'll get back to the game for the remainder of my time. Where are we at? Yeah, okay, the cost. Kevin's telling Tony the cost is going to cost him around $600,000 for the entire upgrade. Tony didn't seem pleased, of course, because they haven't brought in any gold. But once they get it up and running, they shouldn't have to worry about it for a long time. Tony tells Kevin to go talk to Minnie, because she's really the one that wears the pants in the family, to talk to her about the upgrade and the price and all that kind of stuff. Freddie Dodge sees, back over on Hunter's wash plant, Freddie Dodge sees that Hunter's screens are too big and they're letting gold slip through. So the screens inside the shaker are letting gold slip through. So Freddie Dodge tells him he needs to shut down and replace them with the smaller screens. So they shut down, switch them out, and it works better. The sluices aren't backing up anymore because you don't have all the big rock falling into the sluices like you did before. So perfect. You know, everything works good. Jack finally gets tired of listening to Hunter and Todd bicker back and forth with each other, so he calls him over to find out what's really going on because the gold count was terrible. So he finds out, you know, that they just having a hard time working together. Jack tells him to figure it out, and then he tells him the gold total, which was 87.25 ounces of gold from both plants. And that is just pitiful. I mean, that is terrible is what that is. Todd admits to Jack and to Hunter about being wrong on several things and tells him he's going to have to quit jumping into his business and let him run his wash plant the way he sees fit, basically is what it is. So Todd's just having trouble giving over the reins, which is, you know, I mean, that's pretty standard. It's his 18-year-old son that he's talking about here. So, you know, it's not going to be easy to let it go. We're going to look at the Tier 2 wash plant here while we're talking. It's not easy to let it go, but sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to let that crap go, you know? Sometimes you have to let it go. You know, we could go with the pumped hog pan, but I'd still be running back and forth with the shovel the whole time, and I really don't want to do that. I really just want to kind of jump to Tier 2 and get into some excavator work, I think. I mean, I could just go with the pump, but we have $48,000, and all this seems like it fits into the criteria. So, I'll tell you what, let's run over real quick and let's find out how much all this is going to cost. So this is the main thing. The mobile wash plant's $13,000. So we need like 1 bucket. We'll need 200. That's 350. We'll definitely want to get one of these guys, maybe even one of those. Stalagmite separator, a malagtite separator, stalagmite, magnetite separator. We're gonna need a couple of hoses. Those 20 bucks each, no big deal. A couple of extension cords, 30 bucks here and there, no big deal. We don't need any of this yet until we get to the big stuff. Let's run over and check out to see how much the excavator is, the big one. Or not the big one, but just the regular excavator, the small excavator. The 13,000. We're gonna be spending about $17,000 just in the shop getting all the stuff that we need, or maybe 16,000. So let's blow one up in this joint and let's see what's going on. What's up, fellas? I just parked in your front door. Let's see. That's 28,000. That's 74,000. Look at the size of the bucket on that thing, though. Look how much bigger this deal is than that. And that'd be nice to have. How much is a front end loader? 97 grand. Good lord. Then, of course, they got all this stuff covered up that you're going to be able to get later. As you can see, available soon on a lot of this. This looks like different wash plants that you can upgrade to. I can't tell what that is. That might be... Man, I can't tell. This is the wash plant you can buy now. It's in multiple pieces. This is like a big fuel tank. It's 14,000. The big power generator. Alright, so there's lots of stuff coming soon. I do know that. There's the trommel. It's 21,000. Good lord. And then you got all the sluice boxes that you got to buy for tier 3. You got the duplex jig that you got to buy for tier 3. There's a bunch of stuff to buy for this thing. So looks like the mobile wash plant's going to be it. Is that a green? Is that a dozer? Is that what that is? This looks like, this is obviously a loader or a dump truck. A rock truck, yeah. That's like a big dozer right there. That's pretty sweet. I wonder what else they're gonna add to the game. Anyway, let's finish up the episode of Gold Rush. So Todd admits being wrong, all that kind of stuff. Everybody's happy for now. We swing over to Parker's claim. They had a pretty good day, and Parker totals both plants individually. Let's see. I got my numbers written down here. Let me find them. Parker totals up both plants. Rick's plant gets 119.3 ounces. So he smoked Todd by himself. So he didn't even have to. He didn't even have to try, man. He just slaughtered him by his lonesome. Then Parker's plant does 132.4. The total is 251.07 ounces. So they take the weekly total from Todd. They take the lead, and I'm sure everybody is happy that they did that. So, but either way, that in a nutshell is the episode. What I do want to go back and talk about is I want to talk about Hunter's attitude. Being 18 years old, being put in charge of something is very iffy. I mean, you can look at Parker's attitude, right? Parker doesn't have the best attitude either. Parker's a little, still a little brat sometimes. You know what I mean? Like he can still be a pain in the butt to deal with. That's stuck in there. That's probably not going to turn out well. There we go. He can still be a brat to put up with, honestly. But I mean, that's that's part of it. That's part of growing up and learning how to. I think his granddad and his dad and everybody told Parker, you gotta lighten up on the guys. You gotta do better for them, I know I'm going to need at least 2 of these. I may need 4 of these. We're going to go ahead and get 4 of them. Then we're just going to get 2 of those. I don't need any hydraulic arms. I am going to add 1 more water pump, though, as I think I may need it. You know what? Let's go ahead and add 2 more. It's because I'm afraid I'm going to need it. I'm afraid it's not going to reach, so... I do want to add that if I have enough money when all this is said and done. I'm going to need power rope or extension cords, whatever you want to call it. I don't think I need the big ones, do I? No, that takes the small ones. Does this take the big one? Yeah, I think this takes the big cord. Yeah, I think it does. Alright, let's go ahead and add one of those. Okay. Now we're going to need a couple of more buckets because we want to do several buckets at a time. Oh, we're out of room. Okay. Out of room out there. So let's check out again. We got power rope thin, power rope fat, water pump small. We got 2 more. 2, 4. Okay. So let's buy all that. Go put this in. But I feel like Hunter's gonna do just fine once Todd just leaves him alone. You know, I feel like that's kind of the deal. Is like he's trying to find his own way right now, and Todd's just not having it. You know, Todd's not having any part of it. So, I think that's gonna change a lot in Hunter's behavior and the way he does things around there. Once he kind of figures out what all he needs to be doing, and we may have to make 2 trips. This is a lot of stuff here. What I do want to do is put this guy on here. Oh, it's already attached. I think we're just gonna have to make 2 trips. We'll try to drop some of these in here, but maybe they won't bounce out. But yeah, I feel like Hunter's just got a little ways to go. I feel like he's going to do just fine. I feel like he's making the right calls, and he's probably handling better, bad situations better than Todd ever would, you know? Like, Todd's never been one just to yell and scream at people like Parker does. But I feel like even Hunter's probably handling it a little better than Todd would. It's like the guy that bumped into the feeder, right? I mean, you know, it was an accident. People not paying attention, that happens. You have to pay attention when you're running heavy machinery. Well, Todd knows this, and for him it's a safety concern. For Hunter, it was just an accident. So Hunter's, you know, pretty easy on him. You know, just tells him, you know, we're gonna bring Juan over and let him finish it up. That way we can get it done pretty quick, and no harm done. You know, no harm, no foul kind of deal. He's nice about it. So I don't see the problem. I don't think any of that's gonna stay in there. We have 1. We have 3. Let's see, 1 from the river to the first one, to the second one, to the third one, to the plant. Okay, so it should be good. Let's see if all this is going to hold up or not. We're going to have to go slow, I know that, but we still have to back up to this guy here and pick up our mobile wash plant. So this is the tricky part here. That gets very tricky because you're really just hitting the e-brake. I mean the emergency brake to get this thing to stop back and forth, so you don't have to continually try to back up to it. Now let's make sure we don't lose anything because that's very possible. Very possible that we sling stuff out because it is piled up quite high, as you can see there. We're gonna stop here. We're gonna go get our excavator delivered. I think we have enough money to do that. I know we don't have enough money for the big one, right? The big one was like 100 something. No, it was 74. This one was only 28. I think we have everything we need for this mobile wash plant. We got enough water pumps, I know, to get down to where we need to go, because I know one's not going to make it. That's just, you know, that'd be ridiculous if it did. So after we get this guy, I think I'm going to come back and get the wave thing, the wave deal. Oh, I need to go buy it first, I guess. Over here. Go over here and buy this thing. 1. Alright, and to get it delivered, it costs a little bit of money too, so we're going to be cutting it close. But I think we can make it work. Order. Don't show this message again. I should have clicked that. Oh crap, we've only got $5,000 left. Dang it, so we are going to have to mine some. And, pan the old way, of course. Not that I want to, but we want to transfer that to there. It's going to cost us $1,500. We're down to $4,380. We're going to have to do some old style panning, I guess. And we still need to get fuel for some of the other We need to go get a fuel can, at least one, probably 2 fuel cans. Get them fueled up and get fuel for the generators and for the water pumps and all that kind of stuff so that we have plenty of fuel. And we are going to take it easy here because I don't want to lose anything out of the back, and I don't want anything to hang up because, well, some of the sides of the roads you can hang up on pretty easily. So take it easy down through here. Take it slow. Nobody's in that big of a hurry. So what I do want to ask is your guys' opinion on Todd letting Hunter run the wash plant. Do you think he's doing a good job? Do you think he's a little too timid sometimes? Do you think he's being assertive when he needs to be? My personal opinion is I feel like he is. I feel like he's getting in there and letting people know, hey, we need to do this, you know, when he sees it. But he's still young. He's still learning. Freddie Dodge is an expert in the gold collecting field. So when he sees something wrong, you know, he's like, hey, Hunter, you might want to check this out, you know. So Hunter goes take a look at it, and of course, you know, they come to the consensus that yes, it needs to be changed. So not Hunter's fault. He didn't put the grates in there. That was probably Todd's call, if anything. You know, so you gotta really look at the situation on who made the call originally and whose fault it would be if you want to call it a fault. Like, blaming other people doesn't get anything done, so I wouldn't even call it a fault. I would just say, hey, I didn't know those were in there, and we need to change them, so we did. You know, and then Todd eventually commends him for making some good decisions. And I think one of the good decisions was the way he handled the worker that bumped the feeder. You know, again, you know, negligence is never good. You don't want to have something happen just because you're not paying attention. You know, you should, if you're running heavy equipment, if you're doing any job, you should always be paying attention to what you're doing, because it's not going to do any good for anybody else when you're not. A couple other things is Tony. You know, Tony kind of coming around and seeing Kevin's point. So we're seeing two sons. We're seeing two sons get two of their, you know, two fathers to recognize that maybe they're not always right. You know, maybe they are wrong sometimes. So we're seeing that a little bit, which is kind of cool to see, honestly. Seeing Tony kind of admit, hey, you know, maybe I am wrong. Maybe we do need to upgrade some. Why is this dirt down here so much darker than the rest of that? Trying to get this thing over here a little bit more. I want it a little bit closer. There we go. That's about where I want it, I guess. Yeah, why is this so much darker? Is this just like wet? Is the water running down here? Is that the deal? Is this something new they added to this? Oh man, look at all this back here. I ain't even been back here yet. Is all this like mineable dirt? I guess it is. There's the outline for all this. Big old chunk of dirt right here. I guess all this is mineable ground. That's a lot of area. Honestly, I didn't think it was be this much. Gonna jump over this. Not gonna let me go outside of this, is it? Probably not. Nope, it's not. And now I might be stuck. Okay. Something I'm going to do real quick. I am going to save. There we go. Just because game's still got a few bugs in it. I don't want it to crash on me. Alright, so in this episode we managed to get 43 ounces and some change, whatever it was. I think it was 43 ounces. We got some stuff for our wash plant. I also got some stuff to get done before we start setting it up. I gotta go get some fuel. I gotta get all this stuff emptied out. I gotta get the excavator over here. I think in our next episode we're gonna start running this guy right here. We'll get it set up and start running the mobile wash plant. I think that's gonna be fan-friggin-tastic. Honestly, because, well, you know, more gold this way, right? Get more gold. So what happens is when you turn this on, you stick a bucket right here under this guy. This is a duplex jig, so this filters out magnetite and gold. So you're gonna have dirt on one side and gold on the other, and your gold should get emptied into this bucket. Yeah, not buckets, things or whatever. So you're pumping two different deals here. So you should get gold emptied into this bucket right here. It takes one power. There's the power switch for it right there. But one of the big power cables, the fat power cables. Then you got a water line that hooks up right here, maybe? No, where's it hook up at? that unhooked there. Water hose. Right there, maybe? It hooks up, the water hose hooks up right here somewhere. It might be on this side. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I think it's there. Because I don't see a place for it to hook up over here. Either way, yeah, you hook water to it, you hook power to it. Then you take your excavator or front end loader. Your front end loader and just start loading it up. But for now, we're going to start dumping some of this stuff here. I'm just going to kind of spread it out. I kind of have an idea of the way I want to do this, so that I only use minimal things and I kind of move them over out of the way. Like there. I need to start getting some of this stuff out down here, because a lot of this is going to go down here. This guy's going all the way to the river. Take this on down to the riverside, so I'm going to drop it right there. That's going to go from this one to the river. And again, you know, it's going to take some setting up. I still got some other stuff to run around and do, but I tell you what, you guys hang out with me just for a few more minutes and we'll get some of this kind of stuff kind of in place, and you'll get to see what exactly I am doing. We're going to drop that guy right there. Drop that guy right there, because we'll get as close to that as we possibly can. This guy we're not going to need for a little while, because we still have to go get the wave table, which is going to be sweet when we do get it, but we don't have it for now, so we're going to have to wait on that. Let's see. Yes, this thing. We're gonna plop this down right over here out of the way, I think. So we'll run our power cable over to that. And apparently, I didn't know this, but you can do one of these and tighten that guy up so that it's not just strung out all over the place every which way. So with the water pumps, we're going to have to start out at the top of the hill, kind of figure out how far back we can come. I have a general idea where I need to go with it. So in the perfect world, it needs to go about right here, right? I think that's right. We're just going to drop that down in there. And it may actually be able to go further back than that. Let's disconnect that for a minute. Let's see how far back we can go. Let's see if we can go right here with it, where it starts pulling our other end. I guess when it's yellow, that's as far as it's going to go. Yep, so that's it. That's as far as we can go with it. Did it pull our other end out of the water? It did not. Good, so it's still there. Looks like we've got green water there. That's good. We need fuel. I know that. I know we need fuel in all of this. And we're going to take this hose. We're going to come from here and see how far back we can go. So this is going to depend on where our second pump falls. And I think I'm going to have to go... I can go around that, okay. That's good. Pull that up a little bit. Gonna straighten this thing out some here. There we go. Straighten it out a little more. I don't know exactly how far I can go with this. Maybe it'll go a lot further. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's where we can go to. Alright, let's go get our other pump. We're gonna throw it down. There we go. Pump out of the back of the truck there, and it's gonna go to here. That's not bad. That actually got pretty far. I'm not super upset about that. Honestly, that's a long ways. So then we need our other one to drop down right here. Get you there. We're gonna come around. You know what? Let's wrap some of this back up. I want to go straight across and then down, I think. If we just keep holding down the right mouse button, get this sometime today, get this rolled up. Looks like our day is slowly coming to an end as we are getting close to dark. Alright, so we're going to go this way and then straight down from here. I want to drop that right there. That puts our other water pump right down here next to it, which is nice. We're going to go in that way. Because we are going to end up having to move this thing around a little bit, so... And I don't know how much, but I know we're going to end up having to move it a little bit. So there we go. Cables are nice and tidy. Hoses are nice and tidy. Nothing's just run crazy anywhere, but we do not have fuel. So we need to go get fuel cans. We need to... What is that yellow on the side? Is that just a glitch in the system there? I think it was just a glitch in the system. So we need to go get... I need at least 5 more buckets. Because I would like to fill up, maybe even 10. I'd like to do 10 buckets at a time, and we... Oh man, this is gonna be painful, guys. Having to do all this by hand. I'm not even gonna lie, this is gonna be painful. So we're gonna have to load our buckets up into the back of the truck, bring them up here. I think I'm gonna move my panning operation into the tent, but I will do all that off camera after I do a UE right here and jump out. I will do all that off camera. Actually, you know what? Let's go get in the excavator, and drive it over there at least before we take off. I'm gonna leave this guy right here because that's kind of middle ground for running around back and forth. But yeah, so I need to move my to make it seem more legit. You know, I kind of want to do this in a more realistic way. Let's see. You go digging controls, and if you use a controller for this, it actually makes way more sense. So you know, you got different things you can do with the controllers, as you see there. Using the controller for digging is probably the way to go. I'm going to try to do most of this in first person, and it's extremely hard to do, I'm not going to lie. In my beginning playthrough here, I played till I got to this, because I wanted to get here. Yeah, the emergency brake's on. I wanted to play till I got to the excavator, just to kind of figure out how to run it, because it is kind of awkward. I know a lot of people probably reference Farm Sim 17 and Farm Sim 15, the Farm Sim games, but honestly they do, their operating mechanics are some of the best that I've ever seen. So as far as vehicle operating mechanics. And I've got a ton of hours in Farm Sim 15, and I've got quite a few hours in Farm Sim 17. So I thoroughly enjoy those games, which is why I enjoy this game, I think. And this game's kind of slow going, don't get me wrong. But it is a lot of fun. It really is. Either way, guys, it is getting dark. It is time for me to get out of the mine. I will see you all, guys. I'll see all you guys next week in number 3, episode 4. We're just going to call it episode 4 of this. We'll combine the first 2 episodes for the game. How about that? So I'll see you guys next week in episode 4 of Gold Rush, the game.